welcome out to the Death Battle Cast. If it's your first time watching and you're wondering what the hell this show is about, it's a podcast where we essentially hang out with you guys and talk about Death Battle and all the wacky stuff that happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then we devolve into insanity and you never know where it's going to go. But hey, I'm Chad.
It's going to be interesting. I'm Nick.
I'm Tori.
Yeah.
I'm Jessica.
And that's the fastest we've ever gotten through that.
That's
great. Look at that. You can look at all that information down there at the bottom. You may notice that Ben is continuing his streak on the week that we release a Death Battle. He's just gone. So I'm filling in hosting today, and we have Nick, Tori, and Jess on the show. Thank you, Jess, for joining us.
Yay. Happy to be here.
Yep. And so you're stuck with us for the rest of this time. You can't click away. Don't do that.
Don't mute us.
Yeah, just stay
Don't
here.
mute us.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. So what's been going on, guys?
Oh man, Horizon Zero Dawn came out this week. That's all I've been doing. That game, I played 5.5 hours last night.
Really?
I started it, and then it was like 1 a.m.
And then you kept playing.
No, I did the grown-up thing this time. And went to bed.
Man, I do that so much where I'm just like, oh, maybe I'll just play for like a little bit more, and then way too much time has passed, and you just have that horrible regret. You're like, I should have just stopped when I had the chance.
It's the one more match syndrome.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like just one more match. And you lose, you're like, dang it. And then you win, you're like, yeah, I'm feeling good.
I can't stop now.
Yeah.
Gotta go till I lose.
I do that, but in Stardew Valley. So there's no like...
Just one more turnip!
Yeah, one more turnip, one more parsnip.
Those kinds of games are like the worst, because there is no objective to complete.
It's so wild.
Go.
It's like Harvest Moon or kind of like Animal Crossing, but
Cool.
a little more built out. But like, yeah, I'm always like, oh yeah, I'll go home and like I'm gonna watch some anime or whatever, and I'll just play like a little bit of Stardew, and then it's like I zone out and time just continues passing without me noticing. And I look up like 4 hours later and I'm like, oh, I've played 40 hours of this game the last 2 weeks. Stardew's my part-time job now, I guess.
You're doing much better than me. I played 40 hours a game like over 2 months. I'm really sad about it.
I also played like Persona 3. There's a Persona reference already. Like 50 hours in like 3 weeks once. So
Dear God.
Man, that's
if
like a
it's
second
handheld,
job.
then I can just like carry it everywhere and then not interact with people.
Wonderful.
It's great. Yeah.
Oh,
super.
that's sunshine and happy notes. Speaking of interacting with people, we encourage you to do that on the show, and that's why we have this handy-dandy little hashtag. It's the hashtag DeathBattleCast. You can ask your questions, leave your comments, generally just whatever you want to say. That's what it's there for. Sometimes we do cool things, and other times you can just say whatever you want, really. But speaking of those cool things I was talking about, we do a community battle. So at the end of every episode, we propose a potential matchup, and we let you guys kind of pitch a case for each of the characters, and we talk about it on the show, and Torian pulls out a tape measure for some inexplicable reason.
Keep talking.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to see how long this table is.
So, last week's community battle, we left them with Moana, so Disney's Moana versus Ariel, also from Disney. And maybe Bob the Builder will be making an appearance later. I don't know why he has a tape measure. He just brings shit to the set. It doesn't make any sense.
John actually brought this to the set.
Why, John? Why would you encourage him?
We're gonna find a hard hat.
Why would you need a hard hat?
What does he need a hard hat for?
God, these podcasts get dangerous. Make sure you wear your hard hat, everybody.
His idea. Were you sneaking in the voice?
No?
Okay. Okay. I thought I caught you slipping.
No.
Okay. All right.
So, anyway, last week's episode, like I said, was Moana versus Ariel, and we've got some debates or backups or things, I can't think of a good word for it, from the community. Submissions, that's the one. Let's see what we got. John, number 1, fire it away. Oh, there's 2 backing up the same person. Nick, you want to get him?
Yeah. Julathorn says, Ariel is definitely the winner. What's Moana going to do? Drown a mermaid with her ocean power?
That's a decent point.
I haven't seen Moana yet, but that is a fair point.
She could choke her.
She's good bros with the ocean.
It's less of a like magic power and more just like the ocean chose her and loves her.
Sure. And then Coda Fox says, if we're using the trident and it's in the ocean, it would have to be Ariel. Magic beats friendship 90% of the time.
And the other 10%, friendship is magic, My Little Pony.
Sure, Jessica.
I don't know. A lot of magical beings go down to the power of friendship.
I know this laugh.
That's very true.
This is the I'm not proud of what I just said laugh.
Yet she is deep down.
I am. Anytime I make a terrible joke and like Chad is in any way entertained by it, I feel my power grow stronger. Like Chad is like my pun sensei.
Unsay?
Are you trying to get
Unsay.
powerful?
No,
Like, what is this? What's happening?
That's why you're not it. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. That was
I
mean.
know.
Man.
All right, so that was for Moana. Other one is just like, what's she gonna do? Drown the mermaid?
She can choke her.
I think that's
I think the
fair.
powers are.
I mean, maybe like the waves can smack. Okay, Moana doesn't have powers at all.
She's just
Oh,
like
that's a
really
problem.
compassionate.
Except for the sea is like sentient and semi-magical, and it's like her bro, so like it like helps her out. So like for example, if she got knocked off the boat, the sea like puts her back on, and like it'll create like a
okay.
wave to push
Okay.
her and stuff. So like. But that's where this whole debate came from, because Ariel, if she has the trident, has control over the sea, and we did give her the trident in this thing. But it's like, so
But you know the cool thing about tridents though? They're sharp.
yeah,
And they're
you're just ruling the ocean right out of this. Just take the trident and
Really?
stab her. Yeah, but if
I mean, I
it's-
guess it's the most efficient way.
if it's fish feet Ariel, whatever, fin Ariel.
Mermaid Ariel? Maybe
yeah.
that's the word you're
I
looking
like
for.
fish
It's in
feet
the
Ariel.
title of the
You
movie.
never heard of fish feet people, Jessica? Sailors used to
I
run across
haven't.
them all the time. There's lots of stories about them. That's if you're in the know.
What kind of stories, Chad?
The laymen call them mermaids. Fish feet people is where it's at.
I think Moana's like super durable, right? Remember when her and the Rock, or Maui,
No, you can just say her in the rock. That's cool.
her and the Rock, they went to go visit the crab, and he fell. He jumped all the way through the thing. Whatever. He's a demigod, so he can make that jump.
Right, right.
She
Oh,
just
that's a good
went
point.
right in, even though she fell on him. She still should have died. Like,
yeah.
Do you remember at
Yeah.
the end of The Little Mermaid, though, when Ursula had the trident, and basically Ariel fell from sea level all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, minus all the water?
she's a fish. How did she fall?
Because she made a little cyclone or whatever. It was just empty space. She fell the whole way
Okay.
down. She
Did
hit
she
the bottom.
really?
She hit the bottom of the ocean.
That's
Ooh,
sand.
that's a really that's sand, the softest of materials to land on.
Oh yeah, because at that point the softness is really gonna.
No,
It's
it's,
gonna matter.
it's sand, Nick. You never actually hit it. Like you just go down deeper, right?
We would have to see which one is farther.
We might have to.
All right, well, let's see what the submissions were for on Moana's side. I love we got two from each. This is great.
I love Mario G-Man's avatar right there.
It's good.
It's really creepy looking. Moana wins since she can just have the ocean use currents and pressure to crush Ariel into an anglerfish-shaped ball of death.
That's very specific.
Okay, so if she can have the ocean just like focus on a point and crush it, I could see that.
I don't think she can like just make the ocean do things though. It's like
Maybe
a
not.
give
Like,
and
I
take.
don't-
Like
again, I don't-
she's kind to the ocean or whatever, and then the ocean like helps her do stuff. Like it's not like
Well,
ocean.
I don't know
Get
the
him.
extent of her powers.
It
or her
attacked a lava
relationship.
monster, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if she's in danger.
Yeah, it attacked a lava monster.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, and the other one?
Sean says, I feel like Moana has the advantage because her ancestors are voyagers and fishermen. Ariel is going to get caught in the end.
Fair enough.
Pretty good. I do think Ariel's like one like trump card is her having the trident. If Moana's like this self-independent sailor, she's kind of acrobatic, she was jumping all over stuff. If she gets rid of the trident, Ariel's gonna lose. Like,
What's going to happen if Moana just gets on land?
Well,
What's Ariel going to do?
probably
Depends on which Ariel
probably
it is.
summon up the ocean to like ride in on a wave and then stab her through the heart with a trident.
but then the wave is gonna stop because it's Moana.
Will it though? And that's the big debate. Is like
I think the trident, it gives you command over the ocean. Like, it has no say.
right. And
I
see,
think that's what it is.
And that's what I was gonna go with too. Like that, this is gonna be pretty dark. But the ocean may not want to hurt Moana. But she's forcing it to, so it could be like watching its friend, you know, and like it's
man.
coming in. It's like, I don't want to hurt you, Moana, but then it's like
Would
strangling
Mother
her.
Earth step in since it's really extension of her power?
I don't know.
Hey, I have a
Should be
question.
Gaia, right?
Yeah.
What's up?
If Moana catches and kills Ariel and then eats her, is that cannibalism if Ariel's in mermaid form?
Only half
Oh
cannibalism.
yeah. Exactly
So
what I was
it's
gonna
not
go
a full-on crime. It's only half
Okay.
one.
for. Yeah, just eat her. Ooh, I
She's a fish.
almost said just eat her from the waist down
Oh.
because she's a fish. I don't know.
Just you eat her and you hide
I
the
mean,
top half
it
of her
doesn't matter
body so
if
they
you-
can't prove it's a person.
It doesn't matter if you say, I almost said something, if you then just go ahead and say it.
I
That's
figured at
fair.
this point I might as well let you guys know. Jessica got it. She was laughing. She knew it was coming.
I had a feeling.
That's
All right.
great.
I'm gonna go with Ariel on this one with the trident. I mean, the trident's
Same.
too powerful.
I think Moana's gonna edge it out. She's a bit more crafty.
I gotta go with Ariel.
All right,
Like
3-1.
Ariel wins. Sorry, Moana. You can.
your songs were nice though.
Yeah, they were real nice.
I think grandmother Stingray is gonna come out and kill Ariel.
Yeah.
It's a spirit.
Okay.
It's a fish, but it's a spirit. She can't control it.
Is it a spirit or is it like a reincarnation? Because her grandma's like, if I die, I want to come back.
She got reincarnated as a giant magical ray.
Yeah, but you just said the ray was a spirit. It's fine.
It is like a spirit ray. I don't know if it has physical presence.
Yeah, that's my question. Like,
I think I need to see this movie.
Yeah, you
it
should.
is really
Pretty
good.
dope.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Check it out. All right, well there you have it. Ariel wins. Sorry, even if Grandma comes along, then maybe she'll just die too. I don't know.
She's already
Killed
dead.
her whole
It's
family.
fine.
You order that little chicken, the special needs chicken? Yeah, we'll eat that too. There we go.
What?
Do you know? I
There's
think
special
Alan
needs
Tudyk
chicken.
voices him. You know, Wash from Firefly.
Really?
I'm pretty sure Alan Tudyk is the
Really?
chicken. Yeah.
That's awesome. Man, now I'm sad because I'm thinking about Firefly. But Firefly's amazing.
What's Firefly?
You don't know?
Come on.
It's
I
you've
never
been
know
on the
if you're- 'cause
internet.
You haven't seen shit.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Have you seen Serenity?
Yes.
Damn it.
It's the
original
show
version.
before that.
It's way
Okay.
better than the movie.
All right.
Way better.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
14 episodes, canceled, gone too soon, hashtag brown coats, all that stuff.
Yes.
You guys should have watched it then.
I did watch
I-
it. And
I did.
I'm bringing the Blu-ray so you
Long
can watch
story.
it. Yeah, it's a very long story.
Long story, it's fine.
It's a sensitive subject for lots of fans because they tried to wrap up the series really fast in a movie, and it was
I
not
prefer
the
Buffy
best.
There was a
Anyway.
movie?
That's what you said. Have you seen Serenity?
Torian.
Serenity is
Are you doing this just to mess with us?
I'm just asking, was there a Firefly movie as well
That's
as...
what-
No,
Yeah,
the
okay.
Firefly
Okay,
was a
okay.
14-episode
All
TV
right.
show, aired on Fox, aired out of order, canceled too soon, and then later, like 4 years later, movie.
Okay.
And
Yes.
and then now there's some
All right.
comics and like a
Just-
game.
Yeah,
Yes.
finishing the series.
Okay, if
Yes.
it's not advertised, why are you surprised that I didn't know of it?
because it's become like a cult classic now.
Yeah.
So,
Probably not in your circles of the internet though, with like fighting games.
And it's Joss Whedon, so like
It's
the
more
writing's
like-
really good and
Yeah.
fun.
He's the
Oh, I
guy
like
who
Josh
did Buffy.
Whedon.
Yeah. Josh Sweden.
Is that what
You
it is?
sound like my
Joss
62-year-old father right now.
Josh Whedon?
Oh, I love Josh Whedon.
You-
No.
Whedon?
You
I,
got-
I knew a guy in college named Josh Whedon, and I would always like make jokes about like, oh, are you gonna like kill me off your show or whatever? And he's like, no, I only kill off lovable characters.
Oh.
It's the sickest burn I've ever received.
Nice.
Well, how do you say it? Josh?
Joss.
Joss.
Josh. Okay. I
Joss
said
Whedon.
Josh. Okay, I got you.
That was a random little side tangent. I'm gonna bring
Sorry.
you Firefly so that you can watch that. And
Take
it's
my
really funny.
love, take
If you
my
go back and
love.
watch the video, you could probably see Jessica. She's like trying. She's like, okay, I gotta play it cool. I can't go full nerd right now. Like I watched you like a little bit, and then he's getting stuff wrong, and she's like, okay, well no, here's a little bit more. It's like let me just lay it
Like,
down.
Firefly is not my favorite Joss Whedon thing. I'm definitely more like Buffy's pretty much my top show of all time.
Like, what did they do in the show?
But like,
did they fight
it's
aliens?
like a space western. It's sort
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
people compare.
Like cowboys in
you watch
space.
anime,
With a
right?
sci-fi twist. An
They
extra sci-fi twist.
they compare. I've seen
Like
comparisons of Firefly and Cowboy Bebop. I haven't watched Cowboy
Oh.
Bebop yet, but it's sort of space western, space pirates
I'm just
doing
gonna-
stuff.
Oh, if it's as
We'll-
good as Cowboy Bebop, I'm all
I'm
in
just gonna
then.
bring you the Blu-ray. And
Yeah.
you can watch it all.
You can
All
watch it. It's
There we go.
pretty,
Hey.
it's pretty good.
So guess what? We released the Death Battle this week.
Hell yeah, we did.
We did. Scrooge versus Shovel Knight hit YouTube today. It hit YouTube or ScrewAttack.com on Monday for first members. Which, by the way, before I get into that, if you guys want to become a first member, it helps us out a lot. It's a great way to support everything we do here. Not only does it give you access to our videos early, including Death Battle and everything we do, but you also get some exclusive content as well as discounts on merchandise. And this goes across the entire RT umbrella, so you can get it for us, Rooster Teeth, Funhouse, Achievement Hunter, all those guys. So it is only not very much to sign up, but you don't even have to put out any money to start. You can click the link in the description below and try a 30-day free trial. And just give it a shot. Check it out. See if you like it. If you do, stick around. It helps us out a lot. So, now that the shilling is done, we released the Death Battle Scrooge vs. Shovel Knight. We've been really excited. Wanted to do this one for a while. We've talked a little bit about that on the show before. But now that it is out, we are going to get into a little bit of some spoilery talk. So, if you guys are watching the archive, or if you're listening in the audio version, and you haven't seen the episode yet, you may want to hit pause, go watch that, and then come right back. Please come back.
Because
We
my
love
favorite
you.
part about it was the end of the fight.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that unless, you've
Yeah.
actually seen the episode for yourself.
Yeah.
And
So
speaking
3, 2,
of-
1, and we're gonna go.
And speaking of the end of the fight, one of my favorite things about it, other than like the whole thing and like the music change, which I thought was perfect, was the original script was just like Scrooge bounces onto his head with, Shovel Knight shovel and kills him. And Jets was like, oh, no. Like, Jets, our 2D animator, cool dude, awesome work, was just like, I don't think that's quite gruesome enough. So he had him just do, like, sort of multiple jumps and cuts, and it was
Sense
really
of the
awesome.
DuckTales theme, though.
It was pretty good. It was good.
Yeah, I loved it. I
man.
cracked up when I watched that.
Yeah.
Like, I rewatched the episode before doing this podcast today just to refresh myself, because I'd seen the fight animation a couple weeks ago. It's just as funny now as it was the first
It's
time.
so good. Like, I was really glad that we stuck to, like, the 8-bit sort of spirit of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because we had Jets animated it, and then we had a like sprite guy, Jerky or whatever,
Jerky,
and
yep.
he worked with Jets to make it look like so authentic, so like true to the feel of it. It's like my favorite 2D fight that I've gotten to help make.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite 2D fight we've ever done.
Yeah, it's up there for sure. My one gripe, though, is with the whole 8-bit thing,
Yeah.
I had recorded a little bit of dialogue
Oh no!
for Scrooge McDuck.
Can you give us an example of that dialogue now?
So we had this idea of the part when Scrooge gets really angry in the dining hall or whatever. We had a sound effect that I recorded for him being angry. I went to the sound booth and just recorded as many as I could.
This is the first I've heard of this.
Okay,
Me too.
Oh, you
So
weren't,
I
you
went
weren't
to
here.
Andrew
We were
White
in the glass
I'm on
room,
the
and it
Andrew White
was
seat.
a wild afternoon.
Yeah, so I can make the Donald Duck sound, but I can't.
Angry?
I can make the angry sound. I can't actually speak though, but I
Okay.
can go like. That's pretty much what I was doing. I was like shaking my head around to try to get the.
Oh my God, that caught you. That caught me so off guard. I was not ready at all.
Yeah, so I recorded like 3 minutes of that because I didn't think any of them were good, but.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah, okay,
Yep.
so that did get used for something though. I don't know if you saw several weeks ago on the ScrewTech Twitter, or maybe it was Ben's Twitter.
It was Ben's Twitter.
Yeah,
it was
posted,
my idea.
Yeah, posted some duck ASMR. We found some like footage of like a tranquil pond with some ducks, whatever, and like this soothing music, and then every now and then it would just hard cut to ducks fighting and
At least you got it in somewhere, Nick.
yeah.
I was just trying
That's
to think of like
hilarious.
what the least soothing sound in the world is, and
might be
that's up there.
It's a fun sound to make. I can't stop.
Oh, I was just thinking too. Like it is such an abrasive sound, and like it's just the face he makes when he makes it is
Yeah,
kind of creepy.
it's
too.
like you have to make
It's like-
that face to make the
Oh,
sound.
do I make a face?
A little bit,
Yes.
yeah.
You probably watching
can
him
I
on
look
it.
into the camera and do it?
Oh,
Just
no.
One more time.
Oh God, this is gonna be so creepy.
Okay, I can see
See,
it.
it looks like you're physically throwing the voice at it. And so anyway, I feel like you could get through a crowd quite easily. Like if you're ever just like, man, there's just way too many people in my way, just like and just running. Like I think everyone would get the fuck
You
out
should
of there.
hold
Like
up
as fast
you
as
should hold up
possible.
like a plush duck too, and just like jerking it around.
No, you just flap your arms and do it. Oh, dude, yeah,
Like, whoa, let's get out of this.
you can get out of anywhere.
That'd be great.
Like it could be an
All right.
emergency, and they'll be like, everybody's gonna stay the fuck away from the duck guy.
Yeah, like they'll see the face, and then, like the one with the sound is that they'll turn around and see me, like.
You should also do your like
I just
crazy
naturally
eyes
look
with
pissed.
it.
Crazy eyes.
Those, yeah, those.
I don't think you
I
can do
just
that
point
and
my
make the
eyes.
noise at the same because he has to make another face to make the
That's
noise.
true. That's true.
Try it. Creepy eyes, duck noise.
Oh man! All right.
All right, hang on.
Get ready. This is the meme of the century.
That's his eyes.
That one right.
Oh God!
I couldn't even see it because I had to look straight in the camera.
Quack into your dreams.
Oh please! I am gonna find that. Hey, I'm gonna add that to my
Make that a
collection.
T-shirt.
You should
Wait.
just.
Hold
Can
on.
we make that like a ringtone
Hold
or
on
something?
a second. Troy said a very keyword. Collection.
Oh yeah, so when my friends make like silly faces and stuff, I use them as memes. It's great.
Since when?
Like,
Have you done that to any of us?
Are we not your friends?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah, what
are
the
we
hell,
are
man?
we not your friends, ma'am?
you guys don't make that many funny faces randomly.
actually,
Yeah, we don't make
Excuse me?
any weird faces being on camera all the time.
Oh, you can pause someone's video anywhere and it'll be a funny face because you paused it in the middle of them doing something unexpectedly.
Exactly.
You know, Trent, I'm actually one to talk because on my old computer years ago, I had a folder where I like if I found hilarious freeze frames of people
Yeah.
in the office just in any video, I would save it and put it in that folder. I don't know what happened
Did
to that
you
folder.
do anything with them, or were they just for your private use?
He posted on social media at times.
Okay,
That's how we
it's
got
like-
the Ben face, which
Oh,
is a really
no,
awesome
No,
screen
actually,
tech
the
thing.
Ben face that was nothing to do with me. That was G1 Novaspec.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it was Ben was Ben was in the intro to some clip of the week, and Novaspec's video it had to buffer, and his face was like anytime you pause somebody, mid sentence, it was very strange looking and hilarious. And
Clip of the week. That's copyright.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, old school.
But he screen capped it and posted it, and the community just ran with it for months.
Yeah. That was a fun ride that lasted a very long time. But actually, we kind of got sidetracked on the whole Scrooge versus Shovel Knight discussion with
Yeah.
because clearly that's way more important. But yeah, no, I don't know, Jess, you were one of the people who worked on this episode, so any fun, interesting things from working on it?
How rich is Scrooge?
Like, so rich. Like, 300 quadrillion we got from, there's like a page in some of the, just issues and hundreds of issues of Scrooge comics where something is happening to his money. It's either falling out of the vault or being burned, or something is happening where he's losing money.
So it's just burning his money?
Well, I can't remember the exact context, but basically it's oh no, you're losing X amount of minute. And he says something to the effect of I could, in 5,000 years, I'll be poor or broke. It's some weird
So you did the math on the time per versus how long he said his wealth could
how
sustain
much he was losing per minute, and then how long he said he would go before he was completely flat broke, and then we did math from that. But there's been lots of estimates. Forbes has done an estimate based on all of his properties and what he's got, which if you want to hear about how rich he is, there's a Desk Of episode on just all of the weird stuff that he has, including a unicorn.
Well, and that's the thing. So Sam and I talked about this when he was doing the Desk Of, because you really can't calculate Scrooge's exact wealth because he has things like the Grail and a unicorn and whatever. You
I think
don't
he has,
know
the Philosopher's
if
Stone.
you actually had the Philosopher's Stone, or just even say a unicorn. It's what would someone pay for a unicorn if there's one of these things in the world?
Who sold it to him?
I don't.
He caught it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I love that you assume that he went to a unicorn store or
I contributed that to his wealth. He had enough money to buy a unicorn.
Oh yeah, I just picked it up at Unicorn or Bakery. It was good.
Hey, none of us are wildly wealthy, so we don't know what rich people have. I guess I can kind of understand that. Who knows what the 1% can buy? Unicorns?
Actually, you know what?
We don't know.
They can buy the presidency.
There's probably a way to do this. We'd be okay, say we just need to get 2 obscenely wealthy people. All we need is 2 of them. And then we just propose. This sounds like a fun show. And just how much would you pay for a unicorn? And then just see, if this is really gonna happen, where that they would actually go. And you got the 2 to balance each other.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting. Yeah. And then it's basically a bajillionaire auction, and we pull
it's a weird version of $1 Million Butt or something.
But then as the auction prices go up, you introduce little factoids about whatever they're bidding on. This unicorn has the power to shoot lasers, rainbow lasers, out of its horn. That increases the value.
Yeah.
And then a couple $1,000s or however much later, you drop the bomb. But something negative, these lasers.
It flatulates anthrax.
Yeah.
That was very
That's
specific.
such a specific turn of phrase.
On a drop.
I mean, if there's one thing that's going to be bad from the unicorn, it may be that.
Flatulence and anthrax.
Anthrax music.
Yeah. No, you guys thought I meant the powder. It's the old heavy metal band.
Okay. All right.
Which one would be worse, though, if you don't like heavy metal?
Just poop in a cloud of powder.
And then it was,
It's when you squeeze a bottle of baby powder, but it could kill you.
Exactly. Yeah.
How about a downfall of the unicorns that you have to be kicked by it to own it?
And,
How hard can unicorns kick?
If it's the Holy Grail, it's on the upside, this is literally the treasure of all treasures. Downside, if you look at it, it disappears.
That's hilarious.
Oh, man.
Only that person, because if nobody could look at it, I don't think it would have any value.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's I think how we would have to do it. But really, you can't calculate Scrooge's exact wealth because he has items like that. But just in terms of the monetary value that he's said to have collected, we can base it off of that. But
He just has so much money, and he's got all kinds of weird backstories. Like, he's been in the Yukon, he's been in like the African safari, he's
Safari.
been in or savannah. Sorry, not safari.
Does he have
He's
Iron
been
Man
on
suit?
safari quite a lot, though. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Does he have an Iron
he
Man suit?
outroared a lion. Like,
Dude, he
okay.
should. The Iron Duck.
You got
Iron
Iron
Man?
Man
They
suit?
call that Gizmo
Yeah,
Duck.
I
Duck.
think that's
Yeah.
Gizmo Duck, which
Okay,
I believe
okay.
is his like
All right.
butler manservant, who's
Dude,
also
I didn't realize
duck.
how
Like, I don't
They typed
duck
this-
servant, I guess.
I didn't realize how bonkers Scrooge actually was with like throwing the coin across the river, rolling across,
Yeah.
and then catching it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then tearing down a steamboat with his
So,
bare
My
hands.
favorite.
That-
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so this is how this fight came about. We were sitting there talking, yada yada, yada, and somehow, it got suggested Scrooge versus Shovel Knight, and Ben was just like, Scrooge will get wrecked, like just initially, because he's a Shovel Knight, it's a Scrooge McDuck. You think of him as this
He's
old
an elderly bird.
that goes on adventures, right? And I was like, man, dude, Scrooge has got to have some stuff. So just for my own fun, and this is what we do here, we like to answer questions. So I start, doing some Google foo, and I track down some comics of things that Scrooge had done. And so I'm laughing as I'm going through these because I saw this thing with the lion, and he's done some ridiculous stuff. And then I get to the panel where he's chained to the smokestacks, and then they're just talking shit about how they're gonna ruin him, and they got the
They're
better of
reading
him.
letters from his family, and one of them, Scrooge is really upset, and everybody's laughing.
This is
and the guy's
dark.
reading.
Oh, yeah.
It gets pretty dark. It's so sad. The guy's reading, and he's like, oh, you guys stop laughing. I've got one of these recent letters, and you really wouldn't want to make fun of a kid with no mom because she's just died, and he hasn't even
Dang.
found it out yet.
Yeah.
It's pretty messed up.
Yeah, it's really dark. And so, but then he's just he gets the rage eyes
Yeah.
and just rips through these two
He just
smokestacks.
Samsons it.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
just gets pissed off and then rips it, and everyone's like, "Shit!" And then he goes crazy, and then it just cuts to a shot. After he has taken care of the bad guys, he's just still so pissed off that he picks up a grand piano and just throws it out a window. And I was just like,
A cast iron stove too,
Yeah.
and just sort of
That's
destroys
insane.
the whole shit.
so I
He's
was
pretty
just
strong.
"Oh, really?" So. And then we were like, it's totally viable. Scrooge has got some crazy stuff in his background.
With that said, I don't think that was very fair. I mean, all Shovel Knight can do is jump
he's
on
a
shovel.
knight. He's
Listen,
got lots
I
of
bounce on
magical
stuff with a
tools.
shovel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
He's got lots of magical tools.
One of my favorite things about the coin throwing, sort of feat specifically is that in the full page he ends the sort of 8 panels showing it or whatever with him just tossing it up in the air and literally saying, "Oh, that was quite a feat," and I was like, fair enough. Okay.
In case you use in the future, I'm fighting a knight who wields a shovel in an internet show for people's entertainment.
Isn't that right, Jessica Davis?
Yeah.
that's pretty dope. The coin thing, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's lots of fun stuff coming across Scrooge, because Scrooge had a ton of history. Shovel Knight, not so much, because he's been in one
Yeah.
game really, with some minor changes, and then they have the new one coming out soon. But they all focus on different characters, so not a lot to Shovel Knight's past. But Scrooge was extra fun seeing all the different things that came
just-
from his past.
Such a long backstory. That's always interesting when one of the characters has just been around for so long. I think I'm trying to remember probably the one that the only other character I've done with that long of a backstory is Flash Quicksilver, because they're DC Marvel, so they've been around for
Decades and
Ever?
decades.
Yeah.
basically.
Which, and those are always fun too, because anytime you come across a character that has been around for a very long time, you just know you're gonna find something absurd, something just weird and wacky. And now,
Green Arrow.
yeah, there's just something that you're gonna come across, and usually you get a couple things. If it's a really old character, you're gonna find some ridiculous feat as writers have changed and they wrote something that they didn't think about. Then you'll also get something. Usually, if they're really old, you'll get somebody something racist. There's usually something racist that you come across, and you're just whoa, I'm just gonna put that over in the desk of death battle.
Yeah.
Potential idea thing. But you just never know what you come across with characters that have so much history like that.
I like seeing what wacky stuff you come across with people like Scrooge McDuck, right? Because you got somebody like My Little Pony, who you at first would say isn't too crazy, but then again, it's a cartoon, right?
Yeah.
And it's a magical cartoon at that. Scrooge
Toon
McDuck,
Force is always
it is a cartoon, yet it's about little ducks, right? They go on adventures. What is the most that can happen?
Life is like a hurricane.
They might, rewrite history.
Yeah.
Do those little ducks inherit his fortune?
Probably.
Sorry?
His nephews, who are doing
I mean, if he's 150
I
years old,
feel like he would
and
probably
he's not-
skip Donald to give all the money to them. Because he doesn't seem to love Donald as much as those kids.
Who are Huey, Dewey, and Louie's parents?
Donald.
No, that's-
No,
because
they're
Donald's
Donald.
their
I think
uncle.
Donald has like a sister, and they're the sister's kids.
I need to find that
I never
answer.
really
I
thought
feel like
about
I've
that.
looked this up once before,
Because
but I can't remember. I just know that
Scrooge
That's an even-
is Donald's uncle, and I think Donald is Huey, Dewey, and Louie's uncle.
Yeah, I think they
So-
call him Uncle Donald.
Yeah.
they do call him Uncle Donald, and then they also call Uncle Scrooge, obviously. So
That's a bigger question than who Goofy's wife is.
yeah,
Sorry?
yeah.
Goofy has a son named Max, but they
Oh,
never
yeah,
mention
you're
the
right.
mom.
You're right.
I love
Yeah,
it. She's like,
that's-
who would marry Goofy? And then be like, I mean, he banged
No, I
somebody.
just wanted to know what could be happening, like what all that thing. Because didn't he like sort of date like a cow person or whatever?
Oh, Clarabelle?
Yeah, Clarabelle.
yeah.
Yeah, but dog plus cow still shouldn't equal dog.
Right. I was just trying to imagine what kind of weird stuff that could.
Why do they also own a
lead
dog?
to.
You say things like that, and it just makes my mind go terrible places, Jessica, because there's just like, weird stuff. Somebody had to sleep with Goofy, and then all I'm picturing is like, whoa!
They also
Like, it's just
also
Could
own
you
a
imagine
dog.
the sounds of Goofy in bed?
I would prefer not to. I'll tell you that much.
And
Nope.
it was great too. It's like, and no, that's why he has a kid. He's so accident prone. Max is probably an accident.
Oh no.
It's probably like things are trying to go good, everything's going good, and then they slipped on a banana, did a couple backflips, fell right back in there, and just blam,
I
kid.
have a few questions about the universe, right? Except for the mom thing. Goofy and them own a dog.
I don't
Yeah,
Mickey
like.
owns a dog.
Mickey owns the dog.
I
Pluto.
don't like the hierarchy of animals in things where animals are main characters
Yeah.
because it's like they, they're animals, but they have pets like cats and dogs. Like I think Minnie has a cat, and there's like,
Yes.
it's like why are you better than that one? I don't understand.
Mickey
Figaro's from
owns
Pinocchio.
Pluto, but they're all in the same universe.
Pluto's less
I've
of
seen
a
Pluto interact
humanoid
with
dog.
Goofy.
I've got a good answer for
That's
you.
weird.
Is it slavery?
I think it's they do probably enslave them, but it's probably just people in different stages of evolution, right? So like, Goofy has obviously evolved, if you can call it that for him, but like into this like race of sentient dog people. But there are clearly dogs on the planet like Pluto who haven't evolved yet show a lot more intelligence than just normal dogs. So. It's just they're probably just down a few rungs in the evolutionary ladder,
Their
and
civil
so
rights
then
thing
they
must be
become their
like-
pets, which is weird. Could you imagine like having I guess it'd be like having a chimp as a pet.
Yeah,
For them, which some people do.
yeah.
Yeah, but no, you can't. There's so
Well-
many things in place that you have to.
Legally, it's extremely rare for that to happen, but even if they're not pets, people do, like train them and stuff.
Sure.
Like they,
And like observe them.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think
and like
anybody
teach
in
them sign
Disney has
language and
parents.
stuff.
Okay, that's another thing. So
Max has Goofy.
there's all I know you get.
There are parents.
You can only have.
And you can only have one.
One.
Yeah.
If they're gonna if both parents are there, then one of them's gonna die. Like one of them will die in that movie if they're both there, guaranteed. If not both.
Yeah.
What about Inside Out? She had parents.
Was that a Disney movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Pixar.
Mickey doesn't have
It says
parents.
Pixar to the
He
cat.
doesn't have
Disney
Okay.
proper.
Mickey doesn't have either parent.
As far as we know.
His dad is Walt Disney, who came up with him. The end.
That
See,
was-
maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's so like. If Walt Disney is Mickey's father, then maybe this came about through some horrible cross-genetic thing between humans and
no.
animals.
This is not what I
See,
meant
and
when
now-
I said
No,
that.
see,
I just want to make that
but
clear.
now
No, I'm interested. I'm in.
Because now people,
I'm in.
the animals that still have pure bloodlines, they're normal animals.
Yeah.
But
So now there's
the people
animal
tainted
racism.
With the humanity part, they've, obviously they inherited some intelligence, so
Sentient
they're
mice.
winning. But yeah.
Oh man. This
To
is
what
great.
degree does magic come into it, though?
In general, Mickey Mouse place, there's not like. And like
No, the
Mickey's
Sorcerer's
general world,
Apprentice.
I know he has like,
Yeah.
but that's like a spin-off thing. He goes into these other worlds to tell a story, like Jack and the Beanstalk, Fantasia,
right.
things like
Yeah.
that. Like I feel like that's just Mickey's the everyman for every story. Like he can be any character,
Yeah,
but like in
I think
Mickey's
that's fair.
actual world, and I have a daughter, so I watch a lot of random Mickey stuff, like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, so like that. There's generally not.
There's magic in Mickey's Clubhouse.
There's some. I mean,
Is it magic or
they
is
try
it
and
just
play it off like it's
advanced
some
technology?
weird advanced technology science.
I've seen
Oh,
Mickey
okay,
Mouse
okay.
You know,
Clubhouse.
and like there is a giant. Don't get me wrong. So he's just
They
chilling.
try to play off magic like it's science.
So,
It's
like-
the least Disney thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Well, it's if you watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, there's like a lot of weird
Gears.
contraptions
Yeah.
and gears
Sure,
are a
okay.
big motif.
Yeah, and like they've got this
Okay.
little sentient like Deus Ex Machina thing that flies around named Toodles.
Toodles, that's his
And
name.
he only gets 3 contraptions. It's just random. They're just like, we're gonna go on an adventure. You want to come? Toodles is like, sure. And then he's like, got his 3. He could be like something that sounds like just would be worthless. Like
It's sort of like the backpack in Dora,
yeah,
right?
it's like here's a popped bike tire. It's like, you know, and here's a cone, and here's a waffle, and that's what Toodles is bringing with him on the adventure.
That's what Toodles is bringing to the table today.
And then they come across something. They're like, uh-oh.
Did he cook the waffle?
This rubber band broke on this bridge cranking machine. Do you think that Toodles has something that can get us through that? We're like, yeah, that's
The
shit
waffle.
broken tire. And they put the broken tire on the thing. That's what they call their little weird demonic Toodles chant. And then suddenly it's fixed, and you go on. And what it could be next time, you know? They might come across like a walrus, and he's really hungry, but he only eats one type of thing. And he likes breakfast food.
tires.
So
I
get
like
out
if
of
I
my
was a
way,
kid.
walrus. And they're like, I'm not getting out of the way unless you feed me. And they're like, if only someone had a waffle. Oh, Toodles! And he comes flying, and he's like, here you go.
Chad, is this a real episode you're recounting to us,
No,
or have
but
you
it
just
sounds like
seen
it.
enough Mickey Mouse Clubhouse?
Oh, I'm constructing this pure
This
fabrication.
is Mickey Mouse Clubhouse fan fiction.
I mean, I guess, sure, I
It's
can
a
write, I
spec
can write for you.
script.
Remember
I
that.
like me being the toddler watching every episode every day, just hoping there's a use for this waffle.
But no, he always uses them in the episode.
By
just
the end of the
however-
episode, yeah, he's served his
I
purpose
can't
and he goes
remember. There
away.
was one that pissed me off. That sounds stupid. Because like, usually at least, like, you see, like, when it comes across a thing and it's just like, what can we use to do blank? And you're like, oh, they're going to use that thing, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Because they want the kids to guess. And there was one I just remember being like, that's a stretch. Like, I was like, that's not real. Like, God,
Hold on right
I
there,
know.
Mickey Mouse Club.
I-
I draw the line right there.
I think it was like there was like a bunch of debris or something like covering the way, and they didn't move on, and they blew it away with a bike pump or something. And I was like, this is bullshit.
Okay.
A little focused amount of air.
Yeah. Last thing too is like, what can we use to blow this out of the way? I'm like, I don't know. I think you're fucked, Mickey. Like, and then he's just like, you're right. It's the bike pump. I'm like, bullshit. And then he's just,
I don't know.
whoa,
You're fucking-
it worked. Thanks, everyone.
You just get mad and turn it off and leave.
Yeah. I just, Kira, this is bullshit. Don't listen to this. False expectations. I got a bike pump in the garage. See how much shit you can clean up with that.
You take her to Disney World. She finds the Mickey Mouse mascot.
You lied to me.
And she says, Mickey, that was bullshit.
Oh, that's not a nice thing to say, little girl. Oh,
That's also bullshit.
Anyway,
That's funny.
I could sit and overanalyze Disney stuff all day.
well, this is what we do.
Like, it is what we do.
It's really
basically.
fun watching as an adult. It's you're like,
I just remember one of my favorite things in this whole show is your whole rant about Dora. Like, that was
man.
just great.
What's
Oh
good?
my god.
And then you took a weird tangent when you started talking about bubble guppies or whatever the fuck. That
Oh,
was strange.
yeah,
that was the story that had no point. We really thought you were gonna tie it into something, but it just ended.
It was just
Why don't you
other
tell us about
kids
it?
fighting other kids
Slap
as small fish.
Oh man. Anyway, I don't remember how we went down this weird. Oh yeah, from the animal evolution hierarchy thing.
Yeah.
But this is a good example of what this job has done to us. We can't take anything without being like, how does that happen, or what does this really mean? And like even just the why are there dogs in the Mickey Mouse world, and yet there are also dog people. Like we'll have to propose theories and try and come up with a reasonable explanation as to why that happens. There's no more fun
Maybe
in the
that can
world.
just be our community, not death battle, but just question. Like, why?
Maybe. Yeah, just why? Why are things? No, Tori, did you bring anything for us this week?
I did.
Speaking of the
You got a
mic.
big grin.
Oh boy.
I did.
Okay?
Okay.
He's got a sly smile.
So, what I do when I work all day and night is that I sit in the lobby and I wait my turn
For Killer Instinct.
for whatever game. I used to do a lot with Marvel in college. So, play that clip because we got some grab of
Roll
the
that
week.
beautiful
Grab
bean
rabbit.
footage.
Grab of the week. I love it.
Can't wait to see this.
Grab of the week. So I recorded it
it's
with my
Killer
phone
Instinct.
because I
Okay.
got
look
something
at
going
this.
on.
See, I can actually follow what's going to happen.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. So
you're
grabs.
He's Kim Woo. You're
Uh-oh.
Kim
Three
Woo.
grabs.
I'm
Are you
Kim
gonna
Woo.
grab his entire health bar?
I'm just gonna grab him.
4,
I'm just gonna grab him.
5.
You know, the first game went a lot better for him for this.
This is when everybody's going,
Keep counting,
hey!
7.
7. He couldn't possibly do it again. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, hey!
No, we
There's a
just skip
suspicious
time a little
cut there.
bit. Skip time a little
Skip
bit.
time a lot there.
Hey!
Just this still first health bar.
Oh my god.
You didn't
we
mix
go.
it up at the very end? Did you just
Here we
With
go.
that little health.
Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna speed up time. We're gonna speed up time a little bit. Let's keep it going. I'm
You
the
didn't
best.
teabag him?
I'm the best.
You
Oh
didn't teabag him.
boy.
Oh, I think I taunted or something.
Sorry.
Okay, you gotta at least do that.
I don't want to rain on your parade and take away from your accomplishment because that was hilarious and that was awesome. But did you see his tag? It was Pappy 420 is happy. That guy was probably high as shit.
He probably was. He probably was.
He probably thought partway through that he was Kim Woo. And then he was,
Oh man, I'm kicking ass.
But like, it's not that he gave up because you can hear. I was hearing him hit buttons and moves starting up. He's just
was he just
getting
getting
grabbed.
upset?
No, he was just trying to do stuff.
Dude, yeah, as fighting game players, like we've all been in that situation where like you have this moment where you're waking up and you just go, surely they will not do this again, and yet
The seventh
they do.
time in a row.
Yeah, or something. And
This
you
is
just,
the one. This
you
is
have
the
this
mix-up.
moment, and you're just like, I'm a
That
fool.
I heard not either Ultra or somebody, like I was watching some Street Fighter, and that same thing happened and turned into 4 graphs. It was like the hardest mix-up was that 4th
No, he's like, surely if you've gotten 3.
like that was the mix-up of the tournament.
One more. That was the throat key death. We don't need to get deep into fighting game knowledge because then I watched Jessica being
That's like all I hear all
But I
day.
imagine a
Although-
good portion of our audience is also doing that.
Although
so we don't
super
need to go
quickly,
there.
should we mention that some of us are going to be at KI World Cup next week?
Yeah.
Super
So,
briefly?
just heads up, if you're going to KI World Cup, you'll see Nick, Torian, and Gerardo out there.
Yeah, we're going to be competing, losing, and then having a good time the rest of the time when we're out of the tournament.
Now you gotta win it. Win it, Nick.
Oh, I don't know.
Bring
where
it
I'm going.
home for
I'm
us.
gonna win.
Torian's been doing real good too lately.
They're having a tournament to get into the actual tournament. Is what's going on.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
last chance
Oh my
qualifier.
gosh.
It's the KI World Cup, so
Right.
like you've been building up points by participating and doing well in tournaments throughout the past year. We haven't been doing that.
So you gotta win 2 tournaments.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
How many places do they take?
I think like 1. Or
Yeah,
two,
it's not much.
Yeah, I think it's like 1 or 2. Did they
it's-
take a winner and a loser last year? I think so.
I don't remember. Oh, it's like the Hunger Games. Essentially, like the first tournament is the
no.
reaping. Only you want to win.
Yeah.
You want to be the chosen one.
It's gonna be
Gotcha.
great.
Well, I mean you kind of always do because you win, and
But-
you don't die. I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta kill
but-
your friends, but you know.
Yeah. Well, no, the reaping is when they choose the contestants.
Oh yeah, got it. Sorry, I don't know. Whatever. It's been a long time.
Hunger Games.
Yeah. Well,
I
thank
know
you,
you've
Torian.
heard of the Hunger
Congratulations.
Games, Torian.
On pushing 2 buttons.
Yeah, you got to
and
show
over.
off some of your fighting game prowess. We know he can in fact.
That
grab.
wasn't fighting game prize. That wasn't. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like contribute to my fighting game.
I like how we're
prize.
putting this one poor guy on blast on this podcast for thousands of people to see.
It's. I mean.
Hey.
Sometimes it happens, man.
Sometimes it happens.
One time I played KI at lunch at like every day for a week with I think like combo assist on
Yes.
and Nick's coaching, and I beat Torian like 3 times. That's my KI claim
See,
to
there you
fame.
go. So now she just brought me back down.
Yeah, there you go. That's what
I'm
you
trying
get.
to keep you humble, man. You do such good work.
Don't forget your roots.
Yeah.
Such good work, but I need you to feel shitty about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks.
Great. Well, thanks, Torian. All right. So, one last thing before we move on to our just hear what you guys have been using with the Death Battle Cast hashtag is our out of context comic panel of the week. I always want to do that. Let's see what we got.
How afraid should I be?
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, pretty afraid.
Now this stuff is all over me, and from the taste of it, it's not whipped cream.
Oh my God! Why
Oh,
were they
boy.
so?
Come on, DC,
Why
please.
were they so mannish back then? Like why?
Oh God, it's nailing him right in the face too.
Like-
Was that like the theme of most jokes back then? Just racist and sexual innuendos?
Come on.
I thought
I don't know that we really even can comment on this because it's just all there.
that's absolutely amazing.
What is that thing spraying him?
I thought it was a train.
You know, some people there's like,
Scan for the bank.
yeah, it's the artificial inseminator.
Is there someone's
That's what it's
head?
called.
Is there someone's
Chad.
head or something like on the left side? Like someone sitting in a chair and then their head slightly floating above them?
It's the helmet.
No, I think
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like a guy's throwing his helmet like fuck this shit. Or people are just blasting.
It looks like a guy's head came off.
Yeah, that's what I thought
Oh
it was.
boy.
Maybe.
I can't tell what's going on.
I think he's like throwing off his helmet, like he's giving up being a hero or a villain. Because he's like, this is too far.
I'm just trying to focus on anything that's not the center of attention here.
I'm just trying to figure out
This is great.
what other than whipped cream and what
Glue.
we're all
It's
thinking.
usually glue. It's usually
that makes
because like
that's-
that Hulk panel that I found, it was
Oh,
glue
yeah.
that he was in, but he's like, I'll cover it. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Man, see, and this is the problem. You see, this probably happened because they heard of the new villain, the Sea Man, and they thought that he would be, a villain to Aquaman. They got it all wrong.
It's just one of those comics where they just built up this comic around this one joke. It's like, oh man, when it gets to page 7.
I just love that we're leaving it up there. Like, we really wanted you to make sure that you knew that if you ever want to see Superman in that compromising
That was
position.
very funny. It's
That was
not
awesome.
whipped cream.
Who grabbed that? Was that Austin? I'm gonna go give him a high five after this.
Like it could have been anything. It could have been any other white food thing. He's like, it's not whipped cream.
Milk.
It's like, oh, Superman, do you eat a
Sour
lot of whipped cream?
Yeah. God. I still think my favorite though is the
Boy.
Spider-Man panel where he's got the fist. Like,
Oh God.
I love this segment. It's my favorite part of the show. By the way, you guys feel free to use the hashtag to submit your own out of context comic panels, because we come across a ton like when we're doing research. But yeah, if you guys have some great ones, then submit them, and Austin will grab them. So that was great. All right, cool. Let's hear from you guys and see what stuff you sent us using the hashtag DeathBattleCast. Number 1. Who wants it?
I'll read it. You
Tori and go.
jerk.
Nick already got to do some stuff.
Fair enough.
Was Dylan?
Dylon.
At Dylan.
Dylan.
How do you select the location of a fight?
That's a good question.
Yeah, usually it's just whatever makes the most sense. Whatever feels like it would belong to both characters equally well. That's usually what I go for, anyway.
And then I step in and be like, cost effective, resource effective, time effective, how many of them effective? Because it's never just one location. It's never just one. They have to fight in 2 different places.
Yeah, usually.
That's a
how it
minimum.
goes.
That's
Right?
what you were so happy when
It's a minimum.
we were talking about doing Meta versus Carolina, because you were like, it can all happen in the room. Like, it's
Yeah.
like one set, Like, well, technically there was also inside the little area, but I mean, was that all part of one
No, it's
location?
what little area?
Because remember originally we have the dude walking in the
Yeah, that's one location. It's just like
just
it's
through the
just at
glass.
the top.
Cool.
Yeah,
I just didn't know
yeah.
if you did like a trick to make it look anyway, whatever.
Yeah, it's
so
cool.
you got to do that one. But yeah, so like I said, it really depends on what makes sense. And just honestly, like from the fight perspective, we don't factor in like environment into who's gonna beat who in a fight.
No.
So it just becomes about like what we think would make an entertaining fight for you guys to watch. So
That's pretty much the main thing.
And like what we can find, because I know so far I've really just done like 2D fights, so it's sort of a matter of trying to find an environment that makes sense for both the combatants, but also like we can find a decent like sprite type background for it.
Yeah.
yep. All right, next question.
Cool. Shane Ferguson, what is the strangest thing you learned from researching a character besides the ponies, Deadpool, and Superman?
So, besides all these characters that had really wild, interesting things you learned about, what are others?
Scrooge invented
those are the
like
ones we
the
talked about.
Super Bowl.
What?
Wait, say
Like-
that again?
So Scrooge invented like a couple of things and sort of originated in his backstory lots of things. So like the Super Bowl is a thing that he came up with, in like their universe, the analog, where it's like a team from this side and a team from this side come together and then they fight and everyone goes and it costs tons of money and whatever. Concrete he also invented. Like
What?
it just
Like
sort
cement?
of it sort of happened to a thing that he was holding, like it got stuck in some stuff that became concrete, and then he went and took the umbrella and was like, I'd like to patent this so I can have money, please. And I'm trying to think, there were a couple of other things, like maybe skiing.
He just strapped 2
Invented
woodland creatures
skiing?
to his feet and
I don't
rode him down a
skiing
mountain.
might not be one of the ones he invented,
This
but
is
it's
great.
There's some stuff that like it just looks like Scrooge came up with it in his universe.
Well, thank you, Scrooge McDuck. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We appreciate concrete in the Super Bowl.
What's great is, like I was saying earlier, we come across so many of these like really wacky things when we do research, and that's the whole reason we have Desk of Death Battle. And Sam has a ton of fun writing that show, and so now, like when we're going through our research, anytime we learn about these, wacky, weird things or something that we just think is really funny or just strange, we'll put it in like the Desk of Death Battle file for Sam to look at and see if he finds inspiration. And sometimes those turn into like a amalgamation of different things. Sometimes it's just about one thing in particular. It just depends.
Oh yeah.
So like we've learned a ton of crazy stuff, and that's what that whole show is for. I'm trying to think like the weird Batman, the one that always stands out to me, like joke around about, because like. As a kid, it was just like, it's Batman, you know? He's a billionaire, his parents die, and now he fights crime, and he uses, fear and stuff, and like, he's dark and hardcore. And it's just like, and then there was a time that he went back in time, and then he almost banged his mom, and he was a pirate, like, and he was a cave Batman, whatever, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, that would always just, like, sit out to me, like, I never thought in a million years.
Gosh, for me, looking at Green Arrow's treasure trove of ridiculously specific arrow types.
Oh yeah.
In and of itself was great.
Yeah, you were cracking up.
Yeah, that became its own Desk of episode.
What's the best one?
Gosh, so many.
Antler.
Yeah, the antler arrow might be my favorite.
What did that get used for? I don't remember.
Let me paint you a picture here.
Let me guess. Okay, because
No. Stop.
Was it to make like a mating call?
I was just about to say, because deers like to fight each other.
Okay, listen. This is the scenario. Green Arrow and Speedy were like doing their superhero thing, I guess, just patrolling, making sure everybody's fine or whatever. There's this fence, this like iron fence, and on the other side, there's this deer that's about to like ram with its horns into this kid, like basically try to kill a kid. And so Speedy, Green Arrow's sidekick, has to remind Green Arrow that he has on his person an antler arrow, which would perfectly, collide with the deer or the moose or whatever it was. And Speedy, Green Arrow's like, oh yeah, you're right, I do have that very specific thing. I just now remembered that. So he fires the arrow and saves the kid.
So it blocks the other antlered creature from hurting the kid?
I believe so, yeah.
That's
so like
weird and specific.
A, the fact that he had it. B, the fact that he was carrying it around with him. C, the fact that he forgot he had it.
But
when
Speedy
the perfect
knew.
opportunity
So like,
presented itself.
does everyone in whatever, would that be like Justice League, or like, does anyone who works with Green Arrow have to memorize like a list?
Well, no, Speedy's
just
a
in case?
sidekick, so like that's a good
Gotcha.
sidekick thing to have.
Yeah,
Right,
I think
okay.
he's like his
Cataloging
he's like his golf caddy, just like
I would
Yeah,
have
he's
loved.
like, oh, I would recommend you use the antler arrow
Yeah,
I
for this
would have
one.
loved to been in like the meeting room when they were writing that. Like it had to be a joke. Like
there's no way there was a meeting room. Somebody just did it.
Just did it. Oh, yeah. Totally.
There's nobody there to tell him no.
That's true. I mean, that's the only way you're getting away with that kind of stuff. And then also, man, you ever thought, like, it would be the worst thing in the world to be just a child in a comic book? Like, it seems like anytime superheroes don't have, like, some titanic event going on, they just, like, turn around and there's some kid in horrible peril. Like, like, we're just going through the forest and then it's, Jimmy's about to get hit by a moose. Gotta use the antler.
Yeah, but they
It's like
pretty much
kids and
never
little old
actually.
ladies.
Yeah, they pretty much never actually get injured. Plus, they get to meet their favorite superheroes firsthand.
Not on the page.
Not on the
Think
page,
of all the
no,
kids.
but-
Like, I mean, just the probability that this many kids are in danger that superheroes happen to be there for. Think of how many are in danger that they're not there for. The
Maybe.
kids are probably dying everywhere.
Maybe.
the deer probably ran into another kid on the other side of the fence. He only had one arrow though.
He didn't have like a set
sure.
antlers coming too.
It's okay, I'll just hit him with my resurrection arrow. And
There's another arrow. I can't remember what it was called. I'll just call it the SOS arrow. Green Arrow was stranded on an island. I think this was a different time than his origin. And to get the attention of this like helicopter flying by, he doesn't, spell
Not a
out
flare
SOS.
arrow.
Yeah, not a flare arrow. He doesn't, set a signal fire. He shoots this arrow that splits off into other arrows. And they fly by in Morse code. It says SOS, and that's how the pilot knows to land. Because he read SOS in the arrows.
No.
It wasn't the fact that there were arrows flying at him either.
Is it possible that basing your entire weapon, your entire armory and skill set on arrows is bad? Maybe
It may
it's
be
not
impractical.
practical.
no, it's just why was that level of complexity? need it. Like, I think Green Arrow's just bored as hell. He's like, I could just, a flare arrow would do fine, but what, I think I can do it. It's just, I think it makes him to see if he can,
I guess so.
That's so
That's
funny.
ridiculous. All right, we got one more question. And let's see who this one's from.
This one.
What?
Oh, gotta
No
switch
way.
it up.
Maybe not. Something's happened.
No.
All right.
Mr. Margarita.
I love Mr.
Nick
Margarita.
Pop Sonicus. I love that. Did he make a custom one for it?
Yeah.
That
it's
is
got a little
awesome. It's
hat.
got the screw tag bolt too.
Oh, it does. Yeah, that's amazing.
I love it.
I love it too. That's amazing. Thanks, Miss. The dancing margarita sprite is just truly wonderful.
Shout outs to McNackus, man.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you so
You're
much.
the best. That's
That's great.
great.
That's awesome.
Mr. Margarita, hey, make a full sprite sheet and maybe we'll do a DBX.
Mr. Margarita. Who's
No,
gonna
just-
fight?
We probably won't.
Kool-Aid
Spit
Man.
Spit all over.
Hey, there you
Hey! No, if the Kool-Aid Man fights anybody, it's Macho Man Randy Savage. That has
Alright,
been...
that's fair.
go. Oh yeah, versus
Set.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Boom!
I see right through your liquid.
I'm gonna drink ya.
Somebody get this man a straw.
Macho Man brought his own. And he just pulls it out.
Just drinks.
Oh,
Drinks it
no.
in one gulp like a man.
He's like talking to a wall.
Macho
He knows
Man.
the Kool-Aid Man's on the other side of it. Kool-Aid Man's he hasn't made his entrance yet. He's just talking to this wall. And he says that, and then the Kool-Aid Man busts in, because that's all he says. So he needs to wait.
Can that famous Skyrim mod that replaces the dragons with Randy Savage be canon?
Yeah!
So he flies around as a dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Spin fire.
Dude, I laughed so hard. If you haven't seen what we're talking about, look up the Macho Man Randy Savage Skyrim mod. The part, it's the very beginning of the game where, you're sitting there and, like, you're about to get executed, and, like, normally you hear, like, like
A dragon
a
roar.
dragon roar, right? But then you just hear,
Man is coming.
yeah, you hear
Just, like, reverberating
it's-
off in the
it's
distance.
really, really quiet, and they did such a good job. It sounds so far away. Just, Macho Man's coming.
And you're like, yeah, did I just hear? No, there's no way.
And then the dragon lands, and it's got the Macho Man's face, but it's all messed up. And then when it shoots fire, it goes, yeah! I laughed so hard.
Now you don't have to watch it because we just described the whole thing.
Yeah, you should still watch it. It's great.
Yeah.
So, Macho Man versus the Kool-Aid Man, that will happen
Community
eventually.
battle.
I'll tell you what.
Should that be our community?
Let's do that for the community battle. You guys have known I've talked about that matchup forever. We will eventually do at least the DBX on that. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
Maybe even a full death battle. We'll see. The problem is if I open that door, then Nick's gonna be like, "Yeah, but you remember that one?" Nick has one that he's going for so hard to be a full death battle, and I'm like, we can do it.
What is that, Nick?
Should I say it? I don't know. I don't want to say it because then.
Save it.
Yeah, I'll save it. I'll save it.
All right, so that'll be the community battle. So I want to hear who you think would win in a fight and how it would go down between Macho Man, Randy Savage, and the Kool-Aid Man. And just so you know, I have looked into this a little bit, and so if you're thinking that the Kool-Aid Man's soul resides in the liquid, you would in fact be wrong, because a couple times he's had to change out his liquid.
Yep.
So his soul, in essence, is
the
in
glass.
fact contained within the glass.
This is the weirdest job on the planet.
Yeah, because I thought Macho Man could just drink them and it would be over, but
Yeah,
then no, the
no.
soul's in the glass, and it's also like nearly indestructible because it busts through
Brick
like
walls.
everything.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be really interesting. And I have my own theory on how the fight would go anyway, but I won't spoil that. I want to hear you guys' reasoning. Who would win in a fight between Macho Man, Randy Savage, and the Kool-Aid Man? Submit your suggestions using the hashtag DeathBattleCast, and let us know. We love it when you guys go into detail, especially with like some crazy math and wild theories. So
Oh, man.
do it, and you may be featured next week on the show.
I'm gonna pick
Cannot wait to see
I'm gonna pick the Kool-Aid Man.
You're picking Kool-Aid Man?
Kool-Aid Man.
I don't know much about wrestling, so I'm also going to go with Kool-Aid Man.
Because
the winner.
I'm gonna stay out of this one because
What?
you don't know how long I've been pitching this, and I have looked into some of this, and I have my own theory on how the fight would go.
Oh, no.
So I'm not going. I will comment on what they do, but I'm not going to say like how I think it would go down. 'Cause
Like-
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go. I guess I'll do Randy Savage. I don't really know anything about like wrestling, but just so we don't have everybody on the same team,
Okay.
That's fair.
Cool.
I'll look into it.
All right, guys, we'll use the hashtag and let us know, and we will read them out next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys listen to the audio version, please give us a 5-star rating, or whatever the rating system is on whatever you're listening on.
10 pesos.
Or 10 pickles. That I don't know.
Well, Chad hates pickles.
Pickle cast.
That's all I
Do
can
you
bring
hate
to
pickles?
Yeah, they're the herpes of food.
Anyway,
They taint
sorry.
everything they touch and they're off.
More
Anyway.
stuff to discuss on sudden
Yeah,
death.
that's fine. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We're
then.
gonna
All
get
right.
into that.
Remember, guys, you can watch this live. If you're watching on the archive, we go live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Time for first members. So click that link in the description below and start your free trial. Become a first member and get a lot of great benefits. So thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Bye.